What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another daily drop presented by TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI staff writer Jacob Turner. Joining me as he always does is THI publisher Andrew Jones. And AJ, we're here for another Carolina basketball related drop, and we're going to be posing a question to you guys, and we're going to be having a discussion about it on this one. And it's, should UNC sometimes wear alternative uniforms? And if so, and you do believe that, what kind should they wear? I know they've brought out the retros recently in recent years. They've had all black jerseys in the past, and they've had some, I know they had one horrible uniforms Carolina and Duke did a couple years ago, the Cole Anthony year that they wore in the Smith Center. Just one of the worst decisions I've ever seen from Nike or Jordan, whoever made that call. Just horrific uniforms. We'll stop talking about those right now. I think AJ agrees with me on that as well. Because I remember during that game,
they sold like 7 of those.
Yeah, I remember just looking at both teams like, this is, who thought this was a good idea? So I don't think we'll see that again. I hope we don't see that again. If they're ever going to try that, they need to spend a little bit more time designing those uniforms. But AJ, I'll ask you the question. We've had conversations off camera about this at times, just, chatting before games or before podcasts and stuff like that. Do you think Carolina should wear alternative uniforms? And if you do, I generally don't know if you do or not. What kind would you like to see the Tar Heels wear? Do you think they should wear?
I'm okay with it in honoring, if they were to honor the whatever team, take whatever era, a national title team. I think if they wore a version of that team's uniform for that game, that would be cool. Kansas does it a lot, and I think they almost overdo it. It seems like they're just always wearing, and sometimes it looks like those uniforms may not have a connection to history, but I don't know because I don't know their history like I know Carolina's history. I think that it's okay if you honor somebody. I thought last year they overdid the Charlie Scott uniforms. It's like, oh, we played well. Let's do it again.
They do love the Charlie Scott uniforms. Yeah, they do.
It's like with the Chromes. You win a big game with the Chrome football helmets and you wear it again. And both times they've worn the Chrome a second time or home against NC State and they the bed. So I think you leave it alone. You have a great game with it and let that be its legacy. Don't bring it back and overdo it. It's like the 5-year-old that tells a joke and you laugh, and then they keep telling you the joke. And as cute as they are, as adorable as they are, it's like, dude, we've heard the joke. We've heard
it, man. We get it. Okay? Yeah, we get it. It's not funny anymore.
Yeah, we've heard the Booker joke a bunch of times. We don't need it anymore. So I think they need to treat uniforms that way. The black, I've covered both games that they wore the all black. They both were in the CBS Sports Classics. They were on network national TV. It was against UCLA in Brooklyn in December 2015, and then 2 years ago against UK in Vegas. They beat UCLA. That was the Bryce Johnson arms flailing cussing game. And then they were absolutely humiliated by Kentucky a couple years ago. I think it might be a nice looking uniform to sell on a rack and have somebody wear to arena or wear about town or,
fashion statement. Yeah.
But they don't need to have that in a game. They should never wear that ever again. They wore a uniform, and I feel bad for Tyler Zeller, and I felt bad for him then, and I feel bad for him now that in his senior game, Nike had something where both they and Duke, like almost in the same week at home, wore gray uniforms.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, I forgot about
Carolina.
Oh, those were horrible. Those are arguably.
So Tyler Zeller's senior night photos are wearing that stupid ass uniform, which I think
I forgot about that.
It's brutal.
Those are worse than the Duke Carolina uniforms in 2019, whatever the year was.
There's no doubt. Because at least with Duke Carolina, the one thing they did I liked was they went to their raw logo on the front. Mm-hmm. So and the two blues. So it was one way to get them to play.
It did. The contrast was nice. Yeah.
And they both have wonderful logos. So you got to see the logo. The logo was pronounced. So, but Carolina, it was terrible.
Gray too. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. So I remember one of the Tokato's juniors, 16. They wore they wore like the 82 type uniform.
I do like those as well. I'm surprised they don't wear those a little bit more often because I
think that's a better looking uniform than the Charlie Scott throwbacks. Mm-hmm. I really do. And by the way, there are various renditions of the current look. They went from 91. They went to the Final Four. That was the last year of the old look, and then they really changed the uniform a lot with the art. They can't remember how much argyle they had on the side at first, but it was Hubert's senior year they went to the new look.
Mm-hmm.
And they've had a lot of variations of that look since then. I think right now the lettering is too small.
Yeah,
now,
I agree.
When Tyler was there, the lettering was too big.
Mm-hmm.
They had that one year where they had the little blue right here.
Oh, yeah, those were.
I think that was 2007. I think the lettering was too small, maybe in between where it is now and where it was when Tyler was at Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
That should be the right size. So as noted before, I'm a big time uniform snob and I overthink these things. And my wife thinks I have serious issues because I will complain about Orioles. The Orioles wear the City Connect uniforms on Friday nights at home, and I despise them. And I'll sit there and watch the game, and I'll complain 10 times an inning about the uniforms.
You're a traditionalist with your uniforms, I think, in a lot of ways, which I respect. I'm kind of the same way in a lot of ways, too, depending on who you are. I think Carolina can be traditional because they're so good. And AJ, I'm going to let you guys know right now, it's going to be a pretty boring podcast because I don't really disagree with anything you said. I think Carolina should wear alternatives. I'm fine with it. I do agree. I don't think Carolina needs to wear alternative uniforms a lot. We've talked about this on the football and basketball side many a times, but I think Carolina's jerseys, their normal jerseys are good. You've got the unique Carolina blue. You've got the Argyle. I think it's unique in itself that you don't really need to reinvent the wheel all the time. But I completely agree. If you're going to wear alternatives, never wear black again. If I'm the athletic director at Carolina, my first thing I do is I ban black uniforms in the program. I don't get it when navy is your alternative color anyway. Why do you wear black? It has nothing to do with your university colors. I think it's just stupid. I'm glad they've kind of moved away from that. For me, I do agree. If you're going to wear an alternative uniform, do it a few times a year. I'm fine with that. But for me, honor the teams that you're wearing and honor some more Carolina teams. There's other jerseys in the past of Carolina's got such a rich history, man. They have different types of jerseys they've worn throughout the last 100 years. Maybe come up with some new ones, maybe honor some different teams by wearing some of their uniforms and stuff like that. So I'm not going to sit here and argue with you because I'm just for sake of arguing, because I agree with what you said. I think Carolina's brand is so good that you don't really need to reinvent the wheel very often. So keep it simple, but if with the tradition that Carolina has, it's so rich, tie in the tradition a little bit and maybe honor a team during it, maybe give away something on the concourse in terms of something that relates. If you're wearing the 82 jersey or maybe honoring the 82 team, maybe give something away to fans on the concourse as a little freebie that kind of honors the team as well and have the players wearing those jerseys. Heck, even maybe sell those jerseys at the game, but you can only get them during that day, kind of more of an exclusive thing. And just make it a little bit more fun in that respect. So again, I agree with you. Keep it simple, but if you're going to wear alternatives, honor the history because, man, you're talking about a rich tradition of history at North Carolina basketball. So that's my 2 cents. I know I'm pretty boring, not disagreeing with you or anything like that, but I agree with what you said. I think we're on the same page with this. And never wear gray, never wear black ever again.
And don't ever honor the 2000 team that went to the Final Four. That was the Block NC jersey.
Don't wear those jerseys.
They lost 14 games.
Don't wear those jerseys.
They lost 14 games anyway, so they're probably not. Even though they went to the Final Four, they're not going to get honored. Just don't wear that crap ever again.
Yeah. They've had some.
That was the greatest faux pas in Carolina athletics history, and it lasted 4.5, 5 months.
Yep, and I think Carolina realized, this was a bad idea. I don't know who sanctioned that idea, but they probably didn't last very long.
They wore the Block NC originally a long time ago. Numbers and stuff. So, yeah. They've had some different looks. If you go back and look at some of the Rosenbluth years, they had a dark light blue uniform with the numerals that were navy outlined in white and lettering, navy outlined in white. I don't think that would be a good look.
No.
Especially if you're talking about, I know that silver, the gray uniform, I've never seen anybody wear one of those things around. That was just a total flop.
Yeah, agreed. And
I do see the black ones. I do see the black, and I think a navy blue instead of the black.
Yeah, I'm almost surprised they've never worn navy.
You're going to do that once. Just don't do it on the road. I'm telling you, man. I've seen them play a gazillion times on the road. I've covered so many games, and I'm out there on the baseline when they come out on the court, and I know how the fans react so many places in the league and outside the league. When they see that uniform, there's something about like seeing Notre Dame's helmets, the Yankees pinstripes. Carolina's road uniforms are gorgeous. They're among the most notable uniforms in all of American sports. And I've talked to so many people in the media and fans, but even in the media, when I remember talking to a couple TV guys at Gonzaga, Spokane, Washington, a few years ago, even though Carolina was really down, like, God, to see those, one guy said, to see that uniform, my God, see that uniform in person this close, wow. There's something special about it. So if you could do the alternatives, do them at home.
Agreed.
And so if you go to the CBS Sports Classic, don't do some alternative uniform there because it's not at home. Do them at home because the fans will think it's cool, be a little bit of a different thing there for them. But on the road, give the people the treat of the true road uniform and always give it to them because it's an amazing thing.
Agreed.
It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And people just get a kick out of them, pulling off the warm-up and like, wow, there it is.
Yeah.
And I'm not embellishing. I'm not embellishing.
Mm-hmm.
I've told you about this before.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it on the road. Story. I've seen it on the road, too, at times. Yeah.
Yeah. You go watch Carolina on the road a lot of times. And when they're shooting around and warming up, and sometimes, a lot of times, they don't even wear the pants anymore, like the warm-up pants, and you can see the shorts and stuff. There are 5 times as many people behind the Carolina basketball stands taking pictures of them and watching them than there are watching the home team.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care who the home team was. It was that way in Indiana last year.
Every time.
They're rabid about the Hoosiers.
Yeah. We take it for granted, and Carolina fans take it for granted because they're fans of the program. We take it for granted because we cover the program. But people who don't see them all the time or aren't fans of the program, it does create a buzz. And it's pretty awesome to be able to, for us, especially be able to cover a program with such history and such moxie around the country, like even around the world. I always tell you this story, AJ. I went to France 3 or 4 years ago for about a month. And I remember walking around Paris one day and I saw Carolina shirts, Carolina jerseys. And that's when it hit me of like, okay, yeah, this is
Carolina basketball was international.
This is international. And Jordan obviously had a lot to do with that. And I know he played a massive factor, but Carolina.
Well, the 76 Olympics were huge because Dean was the coach, Guthrie was on the staff. They had 4 Olympians and they won the gold medal.
Yeah, there's and last thing I'll say, AJ, if you're going to wear the retros, you have to go all out. Got to bring the short shorts back. If you're going to wear the retros, they don't have to be as short, but you got to shorten those things up a little bit, man. Let's honor them. Let's go all in.
Go look at some of the socks in the early 70s before they pulled them up. That's back when it's almost like you pulled some of the elastic out and they were just kind of dangling down. You got to go. See, Armando would be off of that. He wouldn't like the shorts because he'd have to keep pulling them down and stuff.
I agree. Bring the socks back too. Bring the socks back too. Bring the high socks back as well. Go all out one time, man. Let's see how it looks.
Nobody wants to see Armando in short shorts.
No, I don't. No, and he probably don't want to wear short shorts. And
high whites.
The shorter shorts are a little bit more popular in basketball now, but not that level. You know what I mean? It's not the baggy shorts like it used to be. Let's put it that way. When they were, just go look at like the 2000. 11, 12 shorts, 2010 maybe. That's when you'll see the really long ones, even earlier than that too. It's pretty funny to go look back sometimes at the uniforms.
2004 St. Joe's, 2004 St. Joe's.
Yeah, down to your ankles almost. That's the glory days of basketball unis, in my opinion, man. It'll never be like that again, but man, was it great.
There's certain aspects that people that have invented things in life should deserve statues for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A lot of them are fashion. Probably can't mention what some of those are in this podcast, but the opposite of having a statue is what? Like pilloried somehow, some kind of fashion wall of shame. The guy that came up with the shorts that went like 5 inches below the knees needs to be in the wall of shame.
Yeah. Horrible idea. And I don't know how. It's almost more impressive that guys were able to play in those as good as they were, because now it's all about the tight fit, aerodynamics, the holes in the uniforms, breathability. You got guys playing in these 10-pound uniforms with shorts that go down to their ankles. That's pretty impressive when you think about it, man. I don't know how you play basketball competitively with wearing that. It had to hinder your performance just a little bit, if anything.
Well, And if you haven't seen NC State's unitards or whatever they were called from the late 80s, you check them out. You need to check them out.
I'll go check those out. I'll go check those out. That'll be the first thing I Google.
That would be the ultimate worst because the tight fit made me think of that. So that was a really bad.
There's a happy medium, not too baggy, not too tight. And again, I'm glad I'm not a fashion designer because I don't have to make those decisions. But
and never St. Joe's 2004 and never NC State unitard.
Yeah, those are banned wall of shame. Never can bring those back. And hopefully we'll never see those back, AJ. But you never know, man. Fashion does have a way of kind of recycling and coming back around. So we might be doing a podcast in 5 years where, the long shorts have made their long awaited return, and maybe the shorts will make a return. Who knows, man? Got to happen eventually though. So we'll go ahead and wrap this one up. I've been Jacob Turner. He's been Andrew Jones. Another episode of the Daily Drop. Appreciate y'all watching as always. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell too, so you know every single time we upload. See you on the next one. Thanks.
Thanks.